Right then, the Gfinity Arena, the semi-finals. What has happened on this desk? It's a bit of a change. Shogun,
bit of a downgrade.
Casting, and Johnny Boy is not a downgrade at all. It's so lovely to have you. And the man with the gorgeous hair, Stumpy is here. Listen, gentlemen, we've had the fantastic first match of the semi-final. We move on to match number 2 with Endpoint taking on Team Infused. How big is this match right now for both teams?
It's huge, because this means, overall, a lot of teams were looking at this as, if Method are out, we don't have to deal with the main Method roster. Yeah. So both teams, if they can win this, they will be really liking their chances of going on, not only to reach, I mean, obviously they're going to reach the grand finals, but they'll be really liking their chances to win the entire tournament and getting a hold of the lump sum of that prize pool. Yeah, now the Infused lineup, Johnny Boy, very, very strong. They got their first loss last week. Is that going to be playing on their minds at all?
I don't think it's going to bother them too much. I think they were, you know, they knew they were up against it when Remco comes along to play with Envy. Envy play a lot better, so they're not going to be too worried, I'm sure, about that. And I don't think you're going to be too disappointed that they're up against Endpoint as well. I mean, everybody that's left in the tournament that Infused will have to face, they've already 3-0'd them in the league portion of the series, Endpoint and Epsilon, who are waiting in the final. So I think Infused here are going to be very confident. Yeah, no, they are your boys. My boy Doomsy. Your boy Doomsy. Now, he's looking to get some extra goals today to take him to the top of the table in terms of the goals scored. But as Johnny Boy and Shogun said, it's not going to be worrying too much on their mind, but will it be a case that they've been playing so well throughout the Elite Series, they expect to get through to the final by beating an Endpoint that have been inconsistent? I think they're definitely going to expect to get through. I think when it comes down to predictions, I don't think many people are going to go for Endpoint here, unfortunately. But we've seen in the last game, 4th place beat 2nd place. So anything can still happen at this point. But I think Infused are going to be confident. They've got their main roster. They're going to put all of their energy into this. And I don't think the Envy game last week fazed them at all. They thought, OK, it's Remco. We'll take the loss, go on then. Well, it didn't faze them, but looking at the lineup for Endpoint, that could faze them. These gentlemen are, they look like they should be part of a crew, a squad. I wouldn't mess with them, definitely. You've got Shaka on there, Cheerio and Tinny. The danger man for them, obviously Cheerio getting a lot of goals, but they all have a role to play in that team, don't they, Shogun? Yeah, they absolutely did. Last week, they were really having the test to see whether or not they could even get into this point in the playoffs. And Cheerio, he was the one that really stepped up, getting goal after goal after goal. I think he hit 8 by the time that series was over in only 3 games. So he'll be very happy with that indeed, but he does need the setup. That's going to require them to take on Infused in the midfield. Can they do that? That is probably the big question of this match. Yeah, Johnny Boy, now you're a Rocket League master, a sensei, I would say. And I don't know about that. That is with absolute respect. They've been inconsistent. Before I bring both teams out, I mean, how do they stop that inconsistency today and get a result against one of the best teams in the Elite Series? I think it's all about hitting their shots. They're probably going to get outstruck this game. I expect Infused to hit more shots than they do, but they need to take the chances. And if they can, you know, get a higher shooting percentage, more shooting accuracy than Infused, then I can see them taking this. And look at Cheerio. He's catching Doomsy on the scoreboard, only 2 goals behind him in that record goal scoring. So he's the man to keep your eye on. Well, gentlemen, I am looking forward to this one. What I'm going to do right now for this very noisy, there's energy in this Gfinity Arena crowd. I'm going to welcome them to the stage right now. For Infused, you have Ironite, Sebadam and Doomsy. And Endpoint, you have Tinny, Shakaran and Cheerio.
Down to. We have a huge crowd in the audience making a hell of a lot of noise. Are you feeling extra pressure because of that?
I'm feeling extra pumped, that's what I'm feeling.
I like it. Feeding off that energy. You guys too, you feeling the love in the room tonight?
Yeah, feeling confident, you know.
And this is going to help you smash it?
Definitely.
Okay, you guys have been living and breathing together, training together, and everyone says, and when you're in that environment, that really helps you in these competitions. Would you agree with that?
Definitely, in like live events, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, they've been living together. You guys have been training together. I don't know who's going to win, and this is the most exciting game of the day. Go and take your positions, guys, and get ready to see who's going to make it to our final next week.
Did you see him then? He was staring them down.
Right then, listen, gentlemen, we've seen the players. They walked down, we walked them back up again, just so they get some cardiovascular going, so they're ready to sit down for 7 games. Question is, will it be a thriller? Will it be a 7-game thriller, Shogun? I'll take your prediction on who's going to take this one. I just saw something that I loved right there. Not only are they going to be competing in game, but I swear I just saw Cheerio and Sebadam race down to the end of the stairs. If that is what they're going to do, if they're going to try and play this on speed, I'm going to really enjoy this one, but
I'm going to say Infused on this. I actually expect this to be a sweep. Not necessarily because they're that different in skill level, but because they really work well when the momentum is on their side against a team that really does not. We've seen very little ability to really come back, apart from that one time last week where Endpoint had a huge comeback in one game against Excel with only like 30 seconds remaining. They brought back 2.
Yeah. So you're going to say Infused for this one. All right, that's Shogun's...
4-0.
4-0.
I just realised it's best of 7.
They're going to win 3-0, they'll forfeit the 4.
And Johnny Boy, what are you saying, you know?
I think Endpoint could take a game. I don't think they're going to take more than that. They're at best 4-1 in my opinion, unless there's just a complete capitulation from Infused. Then I don't think that Endpoint are going to have a chance.
Well, I appreciate those 2 predictions, but I've seen so much in the Elite Series. The underdogs have given us a surprise and a shock. Are you going to say it? Are you going to do it for us, Stumpy?
As much as I love going against the grain, that is Shogun, I'm going to have to agree with him here. I think it's going to be probably 4-1. I'm going to agree with Johnny on that. I think Endpoint could get a game out of them. They've come on an absolute mile since week 3 when Infused did 3-0 them. So I think they can take a game, but I'm going to go 4-1 to Infused.
Okay, I love the boys' Endpoint. No one's asked for my prediction, but I would like to go for a nice hot chocolate with those lads afterwards. They seem like genuine lads. Listen, there's a change in the casting area. I don't know what happened to my voice, but I know that Onset is finally here. He said he wasn't going to give us a prediction. You got Greg in there, looking absolutely dapper. I miss you on the panel. Onset, what is your prediction and how excited are you for this match?
I'm beyond excited. I've been sat backstage all day. I've been waiting to get into the action. And you want a prediction, Tom?
I want a prediction.
You want a prediction? I'm going with Infused on this one. I'm sticking with the guys on the desk. It's all red across the board for me. What about you, Greg?
I'm pretty sure everyone is expecting Infused here. I would love to see Endpoint upset.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. I know that sounds as brutal as you might expect. Everyone's saying Infused. Endpoint, no chance at all. But in this scenario, Endpoint are getting better every week. When they played before, it was a low-scoring game, and Cheerio started scoring.
Yeah.
So perhaps that might change the balance, but Infused still have the edge as talented players.
Yeah, I mean, Infused, first loss last week. You know, we heard Doomsy earlier saying, yeah, forget about it. It was a bit of a blip on the radar. We'll be back this week. But as you say, Endpoint getting better week after week. And that is the biggest point I think you made there. Cheerio has started scoring goals, and that has been vital to their success.
Yeah, and you know what I liked? Seeing them backstage, all watching the game together, intermingled. It wasn't like Team A, Team B, sitting either side of the room. Interlink, I love that. That's what Rocket League's so good about. These guys, doesn't matter what the result is, they're all here to enjoy the game, make an entertaining match, and I really want to see them play right now. These guys are beautiful players to watch, especially Cheerio. Watch out for those touches.
Oh, I'm so excited about this game, Greg. And I've, as I say, been waiting all day to get it underway. I just want the game to start right now. But before we get into the game, just before it kicks off, what have Endpoint got to do if they want to take this series? We've had Infused as the favourites. I think everyone at home, everyone sat in the crowd seems to think that. The guys on the desk. How do Endpoint turn this one around and maybe put themselves in the final?
They've got to be that team that works together at a next level. And they said they're getting more synergy from being in a house together. And Tinny and Cheerio have been playing together for years now. That is huge. And against this team of Doomsy, Sebadam, and iIgnite, it's very important that they do those passing plays. They really know where each player is in defense, work as a unit, and start rotating well. And if they do that, they might catch Infused off guard. But I think it's going to be a lot to ask for, as on an individual level, Infused just have that next level ability to outperform.
Now let's talk about Infused a little bit. Going into last week, they had the perfect record all lined up. Everyone's thinking this is it. They're going to run all the way through. You can see Doomsy on your screen there. He had a quiet week last week, but all of the Infused lineup seemed to be a very disjointed Infused compared to the previous weeks we've seen. Obviously, they were playing against Envy, who had a world champion on their team. But do you think going into this week, they would have taken that time to get things right? Or do you think they're still going to have that sort of hangover from the previous week?
I think they relaxed a bit too much last week because they knew they were in the first place. They knew they couldn't be taken out of that position, so they weren't really playing for much. And now that they're in a pressure situation, a best of 7 in particular, where they are playing from in front, expected to win, I expect to see that come out of them. But we can see here, Doomsy and Cheerio are going to have their own little battle during this match.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is obviously Mogdus and Mets, they're not here, and they have Method, did not make it through to the final. Epsilon are waiting in the final for the winner of this game, so Doomsy has all of the chance to take that top scorer spot. He's got the 7 games here. He's got a potential final if they can get through Endpoint. But that man on your screen right now is going to be the key to Endpoint. It is Cheerio. This man has come alive in the last few weeks, and he has just been banging goals in left, right, and center for him.
He's been playing so well that a lot of the top players in the Rocket League scene have been starting to ask themselves, is this Cheerio guy for real? Is he one of these players who we need to look out for the future? Because he's always been on the edge of being in a top-tier team, never really shone through because he's played in teams which have always been bubble teams, we call them.
Yeah.
But this performance at Gfinity, especially in a LAN environment, that's where a lot of questions are asked. He's been outperforming everyone's expectations. Will he do it now in the semi-finals? We definitely want to see that. And shooting seems to be his forte.
Some of the angles we've seen him finish from as well. It was the one thing, we talk about the story of Endpoint for those who might be tuning in for the first time. The first few weeks, how many opportunities hit the post, hit the bar, they just could not convert those opportunities that were created. And it got to about that third or fourth week, and I think they got a goal. I think it was actually Cheerio who scored in the first 15, 20 seconds. And from then, he's just been smashing goals in left, right, and center, and it's been the rise of Endpoint to the point where we are now. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they perform today. But we're actually going to go back to Tom and the guys on the desk right now, just to, as we have a little break as this game's getting set up. So, guys, a little bit more from you, please.
We're just saying over here on the desk that we're just waiting a few changes of the monitor, getting the configurations, and that's vitally important for the players up there, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just waking up Shogun because he was, he fell asleep waiting for the match to get started. But we're all fresh. We're back ready to go. I mean, it can really shake up the start of the proceedings because now this is week 8 of the Elite Series. They're very well used to the startup routine, and if something doesn't happen like you're used to, it just breaks your focus. So they have to be really careful now, both teams, not to lose their focus and get distracted.
Well, listen, the thing is, sorry, Shogun, I have to stop you there because there was a little technical fault. All been sorted now. Now we can get the semi-final second game on the way. Here it is, Endpoint taking on Infused.
Thank you very much. The game is ready to go. With the guys in the crowd ready, we've got Infused taking on Endpoint. Waiting for them in the finals is Epsilon. Who is going to take this one? There's only one way to find out. The countdown is about to start, Gregan. I'm hyped for this one, buddy.
And I think the crowd is too. You heard the roar as the game started, the chants are beginning. There'll be a lot of people in this crowd supporting Doomsy. He is the personality the Rocket League community loves so much. But now he needs to perform on the pitch as a car in the Rocket League world.
Well, it is Infused who are going to have the early pressure, but it's going to be Endpoint who are playing in the orange here. It's going to be Shakeron who's going to be up off the backboard. Is anyone there to finish? No. A block does come in, but it's going to be the first shot coming in. A fantastic save there from Doomsy on the line, showing not just the attacking prowess he has, but also helping his team out on the defensive side of things as well. They're trying to get the breakaway, but after an all-action start here, that ball is going to be pushed back towards the Endpoint goal.
Yeah, you just see on the back foot, Sebanan went for that ball with no boost. We were on board with him. He had about 15 boosts. He started pushing up. He really needs to regather his senses and work out where he could collect a 100 boost counter in the corner. And it's those kind of decisions that you get when you're nervous. And I feel like that's going to be a big part of these early games.
Yeah, it's do or die now for both of these teams. You cannot lose. You are going home if you do. Cheerio going to get the save. Going to be on board with Tinny now, who picks up that corner boost. He's going to be up and get an easy clear on this one. The long clear does come in. Dooms is going to be there to collect turnover possession here for Infused. Going to be Infused with the pressure here. Shakeron trying to get this one clear. Sebadan going to be sitting there trying to get a shot on goal. Doomsy trying to recycle it, but it's going to be Endpoint who are going to be able to get this one clear, Gregan. And they're going to be on the attack now.
Endpoint have looked a little bit more dangerous, in my opinion, against Infused. It is early stages, so no goals at this point. Neither team putting anything too over-committing onto the table, but it has been Endpoint looking a little bit stronger in possession when on offense.
Yeah, both the teams are going to be nervous, as we say. It's the semi-finals. Just one best of 7 away from finding yourself in that final, fighting for £20,000. A little bit of a...
Oh, what a pass!
Stop, but Doomsy's going to score the first goal of the game. The man who has lit up the Elite Series so far puts Infused into a 1-goal lead. A fantastic pass from Sebadan there across to him. And he just
2 kilometers an hour.
Converted that one. Infused are going to go 1-0.
Just so fast, and that is the way you get speed on that ball. A quality pass going onto the nose of a fast-moving player will go towards the net with an unbelievable amount of power that is near impossible to defend if any gap is found, and that is what Doomsy did. So, Infused go ahead, and the crowd loved it. We saw a huge fandom there, all supporting him, and Doomsy will not want to let them down. Look at him going, he's just going crazy all over the pitch.
He's like a dog without a bone trying to find one right now. Shakeron on the defensive here, Infused trying to get the second one on the board. One clear going to come in again. It's going to be Tinny. He pushes it up. But look, Doomsy actually back on the rotation here for Infused. Finds the pass out to Ignite, but the 50-50 is going to be challenged here. It's Cheerio once again trying to turn the pressure back onto Team Infused. They've dealt with this one well. It's Sebadam.
Oh, no way.
Looking for the touch off the backboard there. Doomsy going to keep possession momentarily, though. Tinny picks up that middle boost there. Ball pushed back, and finally, Endpoint going to be able to get this one clear and hopefully get into that Infused half.
Yeah, so one thing Chacaron likes to do is he likes to touch the ball near his teammates because he feels like offloading it to a teammate is in a better position will allow his team as a unit to get out of their half better. Sometimes those missed touches go behind a teammate or aren't quite as effective as he's hoping, and that's when his team can suddenly lose pressure. So watch out for Chacaron. That can often be a defining factor for this team.
Yeah, very selfless player. We've seen a lot of assists coming in from Chacaron throughout the Elite Series. Definitely been the glue that's held together this team. Knight here on board. He's going to be back. One of the most responsible players we've seen for Infused. Definitely takes that role, making sure he's going to be the last man back and cleaning up any business that tries to come in from Endpoint. Knight trying to push that one back across, but they're going to get the clear again. There's going to be an opportunity here. We'll see some demos coming in the background. Doomsy challenges this one in midfield. But at the moment, Gregan, it seems to be Infused are winning the majority of the midfield battles as Cheerio puts that shot in.
Yeah, they're drawing in 50-50 challenges. So 50-50 is where two players are going towards the ball at the exact same time, and they'll hit the ball at the exact same time. But there's ways to manipulate it in your favor. And I think that's where Endpoint are coming ahead here.
Doomsy!
Oh, dribble and a half there from Doomsy.
Turning it on for just a moment, but Cheerio did get the save. The shot does come in though, but Chacaron tips that one onto the bar. 1 minute remaining in this game. Infused with some consistent pressure here. They're going to be low on boost as well. The ball does get cleared away, however. You can see Tinny here with no boost whatsoever. Cheerio does get this one back upfield. 3 players from Infused converging on that one though. They do get the long clear. Just 40 seconds left though, Gregan. Infused just need to hold on to take a 1-game lead.
Yeah, anything can happen in Rocket League. Small amount of time can change a game around. We saw it earlier in the other semi-final. Epsilon changed the game, which was 1-0 for the most part. Final moments, they got 2 goals. Is that going to be Endpoint? Here is Cheerio trying his best onto the backboard.
Tinny!
Oh, Tinny just missing that as Ignite titches it away.
Titches it away. Gregan vocab here. Like a touch, but not quite. A Tinny touch. Chacaron going to go up for this one. Runs out of boost though, so he's not going to be able to get up quite high enough to get a shot away. 5 seconds left. We can hear the crowd shouting down. Chacaron trying to keep this one alive here for Endpoint. Can they do it? Sebadam touches that one down. It's going to be Team Infused who take your game number 1 in this best of 7. And the Infused fans, they're feeling it right now.
They are loving it. That's going to give energy to Doomsy. You see how happy he is on that stage. He said before he was pumped to play. Pressure doesn't affect Doomsy in the same way as most people. People don't like pressure normally. He loves it.
I was interestingly going to say before the Elite Series started, the Elite Seat, I'm not sure what that one is in the arena, but the Elite Series started, Doomsy had that tag a little bit of choking a little bit at live events. Do you think he sort of got rid of that? We can see from his performances, especially that finish, maybe that's dispelled myth now.
Well, he's had enough live events that he's probably the most experienced English player on a stage, and it's showing here. He just knows how to give the right vibe to his team, keep them confident. I know Sebadam himself plays off of positive vibes. I'm sure Ignite is just the same. The 3 of them loving it on stage. Doomsy, the driver of that force, and they played well. It was only 1 goal, though. If they want to start taking this game away as the analysts expected, with a 4-0 sweep, 4-1 sweep, they're going to have to start winning by 2 or 3 goals. Otherwise, you're running on thin ice there, and it could break and go in Endpoint's favour.
Yeah, I just feel like Endpoint had some opportunities in that game. We saw some saves coming in at the last moment. They definitely played well and matched Infused for the majority of that. What do you feel the small difference was? What is it, just that fantastic pass from Sebadam?
Exactly, a fantastic pass. At this level, these guys need to be outplaying their opposition in order to score. You cannot rely on mistakes. They are of the past in Rocket League. It is down to the quality of passing that normally results in a goal, and I hope to see more of that as this series goes on. Who will it be, Endpoint or Infused? Potentially 6 games to decide.
6 games to decide indeed, Gregan. It's going to be the 2nd game here starting. It's going to be the guys from Endpoint who...
What a bomb!
The ball comes in and Cheerio! Cheerio puts Endpoint 1-0 up here. What a start from them.
Just watch Tinny here. He goes up the wall to bump Doomsy out of the air and open up the free pass into the middle by Cheerio. I've never seen anyone go up the wall to hit a flying player. That is nuts.
Fantastic plays coming in from Endpoint. What a start for them. Their confidence is going to be sky high right now after that hot start. 1-0 up. Team Infused going to be on the back foot, but we have seen throughout the Elite Series, Infused very good at coming back in games. We've seen it, the famous clip, the 2-1 comeback. Endpoint, though, going to take an early lead here as this game settles down ever so slightly after an incredibly exciting start.
We asked for outplays. We asked for passes. We didn't think of bumps. Tinny did, though. And I'm excited to see what creativity comes out for the rest of this match between Endpoint and Infused. And it will be Endpoint leading this game. Will we have a similar pattern to the other one where it goes back and forth, or will one team run away with it? I'm so excited to see these players peaking at the right time for the Elite Series.
Yeah, exactly that. The 4 semi-finalists we have in these 2 semi-finals so closely matched, as we saw in that Game 7 in the first game between Method and Epsilon. Infused up 1-0 as far as games are concerned, but Endpoint are going to be up 1-0 as far as goals are concerned in game number 2. Are they going to be able to get back on level terms? Infused, no, they are not. Sebadam couldn't quite convert that one. Chacaron gets the touch inside here.
Tinny trying again.
Tinny trying to repeat the dosage here on Endpoint, but on Infused, but they've grown wise to that one. Didn't quite manage to convert that once again, but good to see him once again trying to recreate.
He's doing it again. He's going for bumps again. This is so smart from Tinny. He's recognizing that they're on the slow back foot defensive style, and you can hit a player who's not moving a lot easier than you can pass it around them.
Tinny gets the challenge there on Knight, who was putting the pressure back on Endpoint, and that's why Infused have done so well. And one of the traits of their play, they have challenged quite high up the pitch, but it seems like a little bit of a slower game plan from them today. Maybe nerves, maybe just respecting their opponents. Knight going to push this one forward. Cheerio going to be back on the rotation though. Sebadam going to push this one towards goal. There is an opportunity here, but no, 2 players are going to be up for Endpoint. Going to get this one clear again. Shot comes in from Doomsy. 2 players on the line. Demo does come in though. Sebadam going to recycle this one back across, but nobody going to be there for Infused. They're back on the rotation. Keeping possession well though. Team Infused really have had control of the ball for the majority of this game.
They have, but the defensive rotations from Endpoint, they've always got the net covered. They're always having a player fly in at speed, which is great, because if the ball gets put up high, you need a player with momentum to be able to intercept that ball. It's very tough when in a stationary position to go up to a ball that's being lofted in towards your goal.
So many bumps coming in from Endpoint here. We said they were the smiley team who were happy to be here in the first few weeks, but they have really got their game faces on as far as the weeks have gone by. And you can see it in this game, the aggression they're playing with so impressive. It's going to be Cheerio.
Great
tries to get a shot. Is there anyone there from the pass? No, there isn't. Infused managed to get this one away, but now Endpoint with the momentum in this game. They have the possession of the ball. Starting to roll a little bit here.
Not enough boost. See, that's a dangerous thing to do. Doomsy flying for that ball with 40 boost. He then lands on the back wall with 0. It's very slow for him to start getting moving. If you land with 20 plus boost, you can actually get up to supersonic with that much boost and a dodge. And that's a much quicker recovery than if you're sitting there with 0 boost, having to jump down, find your own way home.
It's going to be the second goal here. Chacaron puts the second one on the board here for Endpoint. As we watch this replay, it was Cheerio winning that challenge high up the pitch. A fantastic pass from him as well. And look at that. Chacaron reading it so beautifully just there to convert. And it's going to be Endpoint doubling their lead now. 2-0.
Cheerio taking out every player on the Infused team. Sends it towards the corner, leaving 2 players left in the midfield. Takes out the final player with 1 touch. And that allowed Chacaron to come in and finish an easy shot. We said he's normally the assister. Not particularly confident at shooting at defended net. But an empty one, he's more than capable of.
So Endpoint showing they're not going to let Infused have an easy road here. They're 2-0 up at the moment. 1 minute left to go in this game. We hear the buzzer. Doomsy trying to make something happen here. Pushes this one forward. His teammate does come in. Sebadam there. We saw Doomsy sitting under that one, looking for the ball to drop. Little boost going to be collected by Infused here. 2 players back here. Chacaron's going to get an easy long clear here. That's exactly what they need at this point. Just some solid connections on the ball. Get that ball upfield. Put the pressure on this Infused side. Looks for the pass across. No one there though. Smart play though from Endpoint. Don't need to overcommit at this point.
Exactly. Every long clear wastes 5-10 seconds, and if you do that 4 times, you win the game. It's that simple. And they've got to hold off 2 goals, so it's even easier for them at this stage. But like you said, they have to be smart. We see some teams get a little bit greedy and try and form goals when they're not needed, but they're doing it the right way. Get it out of their half.
Exactly. 2-0 up. Remember, it's the best of 7 every single game. So vital just to take that W. Endpoint. 8 seconds left on the clock. It's pretty much going to be game over. I can see this one being tied up right now unless something magical happens. Ball going to be dropping here. Infused do keep it alive. Pass across to Knight, but that's going to be game number 2. going into the hands of Endpoint, and we are tied up at 1-1.
Yeah, I think it's very important. You see them there, very serious. You mentioned at the beginning they were the bubbly team who came along, just wanted to see how far they could get. But after living together for over 2 months, they've grown to be a little bit more competitive as they've realised they can win.
Do you think those that we saw in the VT from Cheerio, do you think him smashing the desk a few more times has got brought life to them? It's like, stop enjoying yourself too much. Come on, we want to win.
I wonder if Tinny and Shakaron have now joined in on the bashing of the desk.
That desk is in pieces right now. Like, it's as simple as that. You go back to the Endpoint house, there's no desk anymore. They're playing on the floor, but this is the goal. The first one from Cheerio. It was a bash. Got you excited, Gregan.
It did. I love a good demo or bump. Anything where you use your car to hit another car is so underrated. In fact, it's almost hated in Rocket League by some people. If you do it in ranked online against someone you don't know, they're going to start getting annoyed at you. But at this level, it's appreciated. It's so tough to do. It's such a risky thing to do. You put yourself out of position, use up a lot of boost just for the sake of hitting a player out of the way. And in those situations, it was so effective in getting a goal.
Yeah, Tinny definitely turning up in that second game. There's going to be game number 3 underway now. We are tied up once again. Both of these semi-finals been so close. It's going to be Endpoint with the pressure on. This one could be dropping towards the back post, but no. They do manage to get the long clear upfield. Iron Knight going to be trying to push this one away. The clearance does come in here. It's going to be Sebadan with the shot, though. Shakaron with the save. And one thing we've talked about with Endpoint, their defense has always been solid throughout the Elite Series. It's just been a case of converting for them. So Infused, you feel like they're going to have to almost match Endpoint in making their defense just as solid as theirs is.
Yeah, I mean, defense can be as solid as you like, and in fact, every player in the semi-finals has shown they can defend in an incredibly solid way. I think Tinny doesn't have much boost there. Why, he looked like he was strung at the back. Ooh. But it's the difference between offensive plays that really defines this level of Rocket League. Who can outplay the solid defense of the opposition?
Oh, Shakaron with the save there as Sebadan came charging in with that shot on goal. Doomsy trying to create something out of nothing here in the corner. It's Iron with the shot, but once again, this is all Infused right now. You have to feel like the guys on Endpoint are going to be low on boost. Shakaron finally gets that long clear. But look at this Iron Knight, once again, challenging high up the pitch, Greg, and it looks like they're trying to up the tempo a little bit.
Yeah, and Doomsy going for a bump, learning from Tinny that not useless if you're upfield, because you can use your car to hit other cars. But no, it was a lot of pressure there, and it was some smart rotations coming in. I saw Shakaron in particular. You recognize he had a teammate in net, so rather than trying to force himself into a defensive position, he went and got boost, and that in the long term keeps your team out of that boost debt zone where you have zeros across the board.
0-0 as we 2 minutes gone in this game number 3. Iron Knight trying to find a pass to Sebadan here, but Tinny contesting that one solidly there, making sure
needs that boost.
That shot does not come in, does manage to grab that boost. Going to be so vital, both defensively and offensively, of course. Cheerio gets the long clear up. Tinny might be in a position here if Cheerio can find a pass. The pass does come in. He cannot convert though. Can his teammate get there? Cheerio's back up for that one. It's dropping towards goal, but Iron Knight's going to get the touch. Cheerio popping it up again. Shakaron trying to recycle it. Infused just can't quite get this one away. But here it is. It's going to be Sebadan on the breakaway here. Is there anyone back in net? It's going to be the bump coming in, but looks like Endpoint have managed to get back here. Iron Knight pushing this one back into the middle. Tinny can't quite get there. Sebadan trying to shoot. But again, solid defense coming in from Endpoint. Infused not able to convert.
Yeah, both teams finding themselves low on boost at different times. And that has been a defining factor into which team is looking on top. So we've seen players running around with 0 boost, hoping to get the block. And at that stage, you've got to be careful. Like there, Doomsy going for that ball with 0 boost. But he does find his teammates behind him. And it will be a boost-starved player who will make a mistake, which I think will result in a goal here, because it is the key ingredient in this match.
Tinny here trying to push one forward. Doomsy gets the long clear outfield. Shakaron wins that one in midfield to keep the pressure onto Infused. It's like the pass does come across here. Iron Knight push this one up, but Tinny's up. It's a strong connection on that one. Doomsy going to push this one back into the middle to Iron Knight. Iron Knight going to steal this corner boost here potentially. No, he does not. Tinny going to get the long clear upfield, and it seems to now, a little bit of nerves seem to be popping into this game for me. Both teams looking for those long clears, maybe not looking for those passes that have defined the game so far.
Yeah, you mentioned it, a bit of ping pong, end-to-end stuff here. But it has been, I think, Infused who've looked to pass out of defense, which has been a little bit more effective in getting it the whole length of the pitch. For a few looser touches from Endpoint has resulted in pressure in their half. You've got to be careful as we enter the final minute now. You do not want a mistake at this stage to be the difference.
It's going to be Shakeron on the defensive here. Tinny doing some good work upfield though, managing to push all of these players back from Infused. Cheerio once again being disruptive in the goal mouth there for Endpoint. Tinny pushes this one up. It's going to be iKnight. It's going to get an easy clear on this one.
Ooh, both together. Don't think they've either got much boost. Doomsy or Sebadam, as you can just see there. Doomsy collecting
stole
the
that
corner
boost as well.
Yeah, I think he did. So Doomsy low, Sebadam having to chase out. He does get the boost. And that's what we're watching here. We're watching to see whether one team gets caught on the back foot with 0 boost.
We're literally looking for a mistake or, as you say, those boost-starving moments. That's what this game is going to come down to. It's been a battle between two rock-solid teams so far. 10 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, what a pass!
The pass comes in, but no, they cannot convert. 5 seconds left on the clock. Can someone step up here for either of these teams? Is it going to be Infused or Endpoint? Are we going to overtime?
Oh.
Ball is still up.
iKnight.
Sebadam.
No way.
iKnight.
Surely not.
Tinny gets the ball down though. I think he realised that situation there was looking dangerous for Endpoint. Smartly decided to push this one into overtime. And here we go, Dragon. Next goal wins. Who have you got, buddy?
I genuinely think it could go either way, but I think if Endpoint take this, then they've got the series. Because that momentum shift to them will be a huge factor going in, and I think it might affect Infused, who are expecting to be the winners here.
Oh, Sebadam just got bumped by his teammate there. I thought that was going to create an opportunity for Endpoint. Infused managed to get away with that. When we were talking about mistakes, Gregan, and how they could influence this game, we saw a tiny one coming out there from Infused. It's going to be Tinny, who's trying to push this one back. Shakeron pushes this one back, but both of those players from Endpoint retreating once again, prioritising that defensive play. Cheerio, pass this one back to his teammate. Tinny is on the breakaway here for Infused. Does take it over one.
Oh,
Tinny!
Tinny!
Is he going to make it happen? Tinny with an unbelievable goal for Endpoint to win game number 3 and put them into the lead in this series. What a goal from Tinny.
1v3. Starts to dribble with 30 boost. Pops it over one, pops it over another. The last player not expecting to need to save it, as he's got 2 teammates flailing in front of him, and sneaks it in below the crossbar, squeezes it in, and wins the game for Endpoint. A low shooting game, but certainly one that was so close the whole way through.
Incredible. We were looking for a mistake from either team. Were either of these teams going to concede via a mistake? But no, it was an incredible play from Tinny there that decided that game between these two so tightly contested teams. One goal separating it in overtime.
That pass from Cheerio was too good for Tinny back there. There've been some moments we've gone, oh, just if you could read it. But that final touch from Tinny with 0 boost, flopping to continue on and get the final touch to get the goal. I'm surprised. Tinny doesn't normally dribble that much.
I was going to say, we've talked about the likes of Cheerio, Shakeron, what they do for the team. Tinny has been the player here for Endpoint who has really stamped his authority on this series. First we saw that goal created by his bump. Now we've seen an incredible solo play from him. This guy is stepping up in the semi-finals. That's the best time to possibly step up. It's going to be Endpoint who are 2-1 up in the series. Team Infused, the favourites going into this series, have got it all to do.
Yeah, and the higher seed got knocked out in the other semi-final. Will it happen here? Will Endpoint cause the upset against the Infused lineup? And I think we might be seeing that after these first 3 games, because not only are Endpoint winning 2 of them, or have won 2 of them, but they looked strong in that first one. So Infused really need to step up their game to compete with the quality that Endpoint are putting on show today.
Infused, of course, not used to being behind in games. Their first loss came last week. Our Endpoint about to inflict their second. We are only 3 games gone in this series, of course. Best of 7. Endpoint are 2-1 up. It's going to be Tinny. Shakeron comes in. Gets that one away. iKnight now pushing forward. Sebadam going to push forward as well. Cheerio does get that nice touch away. Sebadam's going to be out of the game momentarily here, but Doomsy does come in, push that one back upfield. Here's Tinny, though. The man of the moment for Endpoint. Long clears coming in again here. We can see both these teams trying to get solid connections on the ball. I would like to see a little bit more thought-out plays from Infused here. It seems like they're letting the Endpoint get to them a little bit, getting a little bit scrappy.
I mean, that was something I was going to talk about on the side of Endpoint, actually. Endpoint, when they first entered this tournament, were tough to play against for some of the top teams because of how unusual they played. They were very scrappy, missed the ball a lot, but today they've been showing consistency and very much thought out plays. Everything they do is very deliberate, and I'm loving seeing that. And that's what Infused have done up to this point. And I want to see them bring it out more as they're now looking to just hit the ball to get it away because they're on the back foot.
Cheerio, another solid block there on goal. Tinny once again with a solid long clear, as you say, Greg, and everything they're doing so deliberate, so precise, so calculated. And it's working really well here.
Tinny with a demo!
He's going to be demoed. Oh, Knight saving the day there for Infused. Manages to get that one off the line at the very last moment. Chacaron pushes this one back forward for Endpoint. Sebadam getting the clear once again. Tinny looking for the pass there to Cheerio. He's going to get a good congestion on that one, making life difficult for Ironite. Tinny to Chacaron.
Smart.
Smart play, as you say.
Drew in Sebadam. You can't score a goal from that angle, and he knew he could get there first, so he drew in a player. It's those kind of thoughtful plays that you're thinking one step ahead of your opponents.
Buying time for his team. We saw Cheerio there with an opportunity, but not getting the direction he wanted on
Dropping
that
straight
start.
down.
Dropping. Tinny gets on there, but Sebadam once again putting up the wall there, keeping Endpoint at bay.
Good bump. What a bump.
Shot comes in. Oh, a save coming in from Doomsy this time. Endpoint turning it on right now. Infused are looking a little bit flustered right now.
And you know, it's demos and bumps that do it. Every time I've seen a team utilize that strategy, afterwards you talk to the team that were getting bumped all over the place, and all they think about, they kept bumping me, they kept demoing me, and it gets inside your head because you just never know when you're going to get hit out of your rotation.
Cheerio has definitely been the lead aggressor alongside Tinny for this Endpoint lineup. It's all up to Infused now.
Oh, go on.
The shot comes in! Chacaron finishes off. A fantastic pass from his teammate there.
What a beautiful pass.
Tinny was up once again. The pass to Chacaron. Chacaron with the finish. Endpoint are rolling, Gregan.
When I saw that pass go in, I knew there was every opportunity for Chacaron to power that one into the net. And again, I mentioned 132 last time. That was 131. Those are the unsavable shots if it's in any gap on the net, and Chacaron timed it beautifully. This is Endpoint showing what they've got. They are incredible.
Every single player at this point stepping up for Endpoint. We've seen it from Cheerio. We've seen it from Tinny. Now Chacaron, the man, who puts his name up in lights in this game number 4. Once again, it's solid defensive play, most importantly here from Endpoint. Infused are just being stifled right now, and it's just every time they have a chance, it seems like they're converting. They're being so clinical. Sebadam trying to find the pass to Ironite here. Does miss this one, but Cheerio once again. Solid plays from him.
Good back pass. Both going for it though. There's been a few double commits in these last few games, and it has resulted in mispositioning, and that means they're having to chase back as a team rather than as a pair or with a single player back ready to clear it straight upfield. And it does affect a team completely, because double commits are very much something that shouldn't happen at the highest level, and they know it, but it always seems to eke out in teams who are behind when they shouldn't.
Trying to take each player, essentially trying to take the game on their shoulders, trying to make a play. Sometimes you've just got to stay calm in these situations. That's what Infused need to do. They need to go back to what's made them so successful so far in the Elite Series, but this game plan that's come out from Endpoint.
Oh, what a dribble.
It's aggressive play. It's Cheerio just burning down the clock with that dribble. 2 seconds left. Infused gonna make something incredible play. It's Ironite who's up. The ball does go down. It's gonna be Endpoint who take this game.
And they got 3 match points now. 3-1
3 match points.
This is, if it was a best of 5, which we've seen in the rest of the Elite Series, this would be Endpoint's match right now. But there is one more they need to achieve, and I'm sure Infused will do everything they can to not let that happen.
And there's one team in the Elite Series that you can never bet against as far as comebacks are concerned. We've seen it in games. Can they do it in a series now? Team Infused have got it all to do. But Endpoint, are they going to be the team to meet Epsilon in the Elite Series final?
I genuinely believe the way Endpoint are playing now, if they continue at this game, then Infused are going to have a very tough time outplaying them. Maybe they might take a game here, but if that is the Endpoint performance in the next 3 games, then I think there's every chance that Endpoint can sneak one more and become the match winner. And I'm sure they feel it now. They believe in themselves at this stage. The crowd wants Infused to win. Can they get the result they hope for?
Let's find out, Gregan. Endpoint, 3 match points here. Infused have to make something happen. They have to get back in. 7am with a shot. Tinny with the save. This is it now for Team Infused. Such a strong performance all the way through the Elite Series, but it is now or never for them. It's going to be Cheerio who's going to get the first goal on the board. Exactly what they didn't need. Endpoint. They have one wheel in the final right now, Gregan. 1-0. The ball off the backboard, and Cheerio, the man who has had his shooting boots on for Endpoint, once again gets another goal to his tally.
Such a clean strike. Comes in with the side flip to get over that ball. Puts it in just below the crossbar. And it was just one miss from Doomsy on an incredibly tough backboard clear that put them ahead. 1-0 has been the score of a lot of these games today.
And 1-0 has been the score because of how solid Endpoint's defense has been. Chance for Doomsy there, cannot connect, however. You just feel Infused had to get their noses in the lead in this game if they did want a chance of taking it. We've seen how solid Endpoint have been. The crowd trying to rally behind Infused right now. But as I say, Endpoint looking good. 7am with the ball off the backboard. Anyone there is Doomsy, who can't quite convert. They just look very disjointed right now. They just have to settle down, I believe.
Right, that's a pass. Oh, Tinny going high, but still making those touches down to your opposition. So close to your net is dangerous. Team Infused are looking rattled here. They have got a long way to climb to get back into this semi-final. Endpoint putting everything into this Elite Series right from the beginning. They've just gone from strength to strength, and at this stage, I want to see Infused step up their game to their earlier performances in the Elite Series.
Great pass there from Doomsy to Ironite, who just couldn't find the finish. Ironite going to be trying to keep this one alive, but no. Once again, Cheerio, the man of the moment here for Endpoint. Solid connections from him. Here comes Doomsy! Doomsy ties it up for Infused! 1-1!
Look how pumped he is there. Doomsy is not happy they are behind, and he is trying to take it into his own hands.
That is a game face right there from Doomsy.
Screaming it into the net, just below the crossbar, erupting the crowd. They want Doomsy to win. They love the man, and he has just put Infused back into this game.
That's more like the Infused we've seen in the previous weeks. 1-1 now, 3 minutes left on the clock. Endpoint, 3 match points. But Infused.
Cheerio!
Coming to life. Cheerio! No! Cheerio! What a goal!
What a touch from Cheerio here, just flying up, taking a first touch in the air and continuing through, making it even much harder for Doomsy. He knew there was someone behind him. He knew he had to get a touch quickly. He wasn't able to get it away from his goal line, and he puts it in himself.
Tinny is writing his own headlines right now. Cheerio, Chacaron, no, finds the crossbar, it's dropped down, is anyone there? It's going to be Tinny! That's 3 wheels in the final now for Endpoint, 3-1, they're down by 2 Infused.
The crowd are distraught, Chacaron.
Silent.
What a beautiful touch from Chacaron. He has done so well to get that in front of the goal. It was so close to going in off of his backboard touch, but no, crossbar down into the middle, and it drops down to Tinny, who is fast coming into that to finish it off. Doomsy, no boot.
No.
Leaves it for Ignite, and that scoreline is now looking even tougher for Infused. They've come back from 1 goal, but can they do 2?
Team Infused are the team who can do it right now. They're going to need your support in the crowd right now, Team Infused, if they're going to get back into this series. They're down by 2 goals. Endpoint looking to put their place in the final alongside Epsilon. Tinny going to be defending here. Cheerio.
That's a missed touch.
Gets a mistake. There is Doomsy, who's going to get one back here for Infused. They're not dead yet. 1 goal in it.
The crowd loves it every single time Doomsy's name pops up on the screen. It was not him who made that goal. It was a misplay on the Endpoint defense, but Doomsy still had to be there, and he made sure he got there first because it wasn't a big window of opportunity. He had to get there quick.
Momentum. You have to argue in Team Infused hands right now. The crowd are behind them. Last time we saw it, Cheerio managed to quell that with a goal almost immediately after they managed to equalize this one. Ironite with the pass. Doomsy
another one
with the pass as well, but Cheerio's going to be there. 7am nowhere to be seen. He's going to be back. Knows that they cannot afford to concede at this point either. It's just they have to score. They cannot concede. You just feel if Endpoint get 1 more, that could be game over for Infused.
Yes, as we are entering the last few moments.
Comes Ironite!
What a touch! That's in the middle.
Doomsy!
Hits it wide, and Ignite almost set up Doomsy's hat-trick, but it is not to be. Infused still have time though. They have many more opportunities ahead of them. Can they finish them?
This game number 5 has had it all. Endpoint, 3-2 up. 1.5 minutes left on the clock. It's going to be Tinny getting the long clear upfield. Infused going to be back here. You can see not too much committing coming in, but no, Chacaron.
Smart touch.
Decides, as you say, to keep possession in Endpoint's hands. If they have possession, it's going to be so difficult for Infused. Player does come in with a shot, but no, Infused are going to get a block. Iron Knight going to be dribbling this one away. Cheerio managed to just nab that boost in front of him. Cheerio here. Tinny comes in, his teammate, if he can find a pass, but look at this Chacaron. Smart play from him, deciding to stay back on the rotation. They've only got a minute to see it out, and they're in the finals.
Exactly, just like that, a minute disappears. We thought it was 2, now it's 1.
Oh, and it could be over!
48 seconds to get 2 goals. It's looking even tougher now for Infused. Endpoint are putting everything into this game. Fakes it all there in the air. Chacaron baiting out the defense. And it will be Cheerio who comes finishing off. I think that's his hat-trick this game. The goal scorer himself for Endpoint here, proving why he has turned the Elite Series around for Team Endpoint.
Turning heads through the Rocket League community as well. Cheerio, the man of the moment. His name is in lights. He's looking to etch his team's name into the final. Epsilon are waiting for them. Can Endpoint close this one out? Infused down by 2, just 30 seconds left. They have to go for broke. But no, Cheerio almost manages to close it out. Is that going to come back to bite them? Tinny keeping the pressure on. No, it's going to be Chacaron. Can he finish it? He can. Chacaron almost puts Endpoint into the final here. A 3-goal deficit, 5-2. Manages to put this one away. Flops down on it. That's got to be all she wrote, Gregan. I think Endpoint are going to the finals.
They have scrambled up Infused. They don't know what to do at this stage. They have to create goals out of nothing, and it's just been so difficult against the dominant defense of Endpoint. What a performance from them. At this point, we can say Endpoint will be facing off against Epsilon in our final. What a beautiful performance from both those teams to come as the underdogs, the lower seed, and make it to the grand finals of the Rocket League Elite Series.
All that ball has got to do is touch the ground. A few seconds left. Cheerio looking to get one more on the board just for his stats. Come on, Infused, put this one on the floor, boys. It's going to be all she wrote. It's going to be Endpoint who go into the finals. They're going to be waiting for Epsilon. What a game we're going to have in our store for us in the finals of the Elite Series. Gregan, what a performance from Endpoint.
Endpoint have gone so far throughout this Elite Series. They started as an underdog, and that's not said in weak language. We are true to our words when we say this. Every week they've got better. Every week they've improved, and every week they've stunned the analysts, the casters, and proven everyone wrong.
At this point, Endpoint are looking so devastating. 2 losses in a row now for Infused. They are out of the tournament. Your grand final, as we've said, is going to be Epsilon versus Endpoint. What a fantastic game we have coming up next week. But guys, Gregan, I'm out of breath.
That was an insane performance. Our crowd have been incredible. That was 4-1 to Endpoint against Infused. Let's just have a break.
Let's have a break. We're going to go for a very quick break, catch our breath, and we'll be back right after this.